Hey, what is up everyone? So today we had a brand new Sea of Thieves update for July, and like we do every month, we're going to go over the patch notes so that you know about everything new that's going on with Sea of Thieves this month. So first we have the final new content update for Season 16, with the big piece of that being the new Followers of the Flame Voyage. This is a new Reaper's Bones on-demand voyage that's similar to the other voyage that we got for the Reaper's Bones this season. Just like that one, when you start this voyage, you'll have the Reaper's Mark that shows up on your ship, and you'll be marked on the map. This voyage tasks crews with using the Follower's Flame Lantern to find and resurrect the Order of Bone and Blade and perform a dark ritual to create the new Chest of Bones. I'm planning on making a video going more in depth about this voyage later on today, so keep an eye out for that when it comes out. Next we have a brand new treasure in the game, which is the Chest of Bones. Once recovered from the ritual, the Chest of Bones can be unsealed to release waves of Order of Bone and Blade skeletons to aid crews. The Chest of Bones will release fewer skeletons than its more powerful Reaper chest counterpart, and it does not include skeleton captains, so it's basically a weaker version of the Reaper chest. In addition to the new voyage, we also got an update for the previous Reaper voyage, with now the Reaper's Bones voyages having the ability to expand into the Devil's Roar, and this introduces a new Ashen Search for the Ancient Secrets voyage that offers higher value rewards for venturing that far out. Another good thing to note about this is that the Order of Bone and Blade skeletons that are helping you on these voyages are immune to taking damage from the geysers that are in the Devil's Roar, so that's something very helpful to know. Something to keep in mind about these new Devil's Roar voyages is that while yes, you are getting higher value rewards from it, it also is a lot further away from Reaper's Hideout, so it might make it a little bit more dangerous to take part on these voyages. Next up, we have some changes to the Reaper chest. So the skeleton waves released when unsealing a Reaper chest on a rival ship now dynamically scales to the size of the ship. So a sloop will only be limited to 2 skeletons, a brig will only have 3 skeletons, and a galleon will have 4 skeletons at a time. A Reaper chest unsealed in any other location, or when used defensively on the player's own ship, will use the existing limit of 6. The appearance of skeleton captains has also been limited, with a total of 4 now being able to be released from a single Reaper chest. When a skeleton captain has appeared, no further captains can be summoned until that one has been taken out. Moving on, we had some changes to being able to steal the search for ancient secrets. So this has been something that's been a little bit on discussion as of recently, because the current way of stealing the ancient secrets voyage was not great. Basically anyone could cancel it immediately and it wouldn't really work that well. So now it's possible for rival crews to steal the Skull of Banished during the search of the ancient secrets voyage. Once the sarcophagus has been discovered by the crew on the voyage, rival crews can now continue digging up the sarcophagus and take the skull for themselves. This promptly ends the voyage for the starting crew and grants progress towards the Reaper's Rivals commendation. So I think this is a good change. Obviously it doesn't prevent someone from just going and canceling the voyage if you start attacking them, but at the very least it does help a little bit in terms of being able to steal it more effectively. Moving on, we have some improvements to the Skeleton Mercenaries that can be found on islands. The Order of Bone and Blade Skeleton Mercenaries now show a status tag next to their name, visually showing you what they're doing at any point, and this can be seen from a pretty far distance. You'll also be able to use these to see if your Skeleton Mercenary has been down and needs to be revived. When a buried Skeleton Mercenary is uncovered by a pirate, the other members of the crew will now be notified of the discovery as well. Finally, we have some new commendations added for this update within the Reaper's Rising commendations section of the Build Rat tab, tasking players with taking on the Followers of Flame Voyage, and crews who complete these challenges will unlock access to a set of Reaper's Bones masks. So that's a pretty cool new addition right there. Next up, we have some rebalancing for the Devil's Roar as a whole. So the Devil's Roar has been rebalanced to reduce frustration when adventuring in this region, but still retains the atmosphere and risk that comes with sailing in such a dangerous part of the seas. So geysers that appear on islands should no longer directly target players, and the number of them that surface is now scaled to the size of the crew exploring the island. This is a big change. This is one of the biggest reasons why I don't like to be on the Devil's Roar, is because I hate the geysers. Volcanoes and stuff don't really have a problem with. I can avoid those and deal with them if I need to, but the geysers always seemed like they were targeting me, and it was just very frustrating to try to dig up anything when you have geysers always spawning on you. So I think this is a big change. I think it will make the Devil's Roar a lot more viable to actually go and explore there. Other changes include the volcanoes now signal their eruption for a longer time, allowing players to have a little bit more time to react. Also, the live volcano now erupts for a shorter period of time before subsiding, and while erupting, the chance that nearby ships will be hit with volcanic rock has been reduced. I think this change might have gone a little bit overboard because I think the Devil's Roar needs to be a little bit of the harder area to fight in, but we'll see how these changes are, if they've gone too far with them or if they're just right. Next up, another change we have is with responsive health bar improvements. So the UI health bar has been improved to be more responsive during combat, making it so that players taking damage or healing will now see the health bar move to be more accurate much more quickly. Players with critically low health will now consistently see their health bar switch to green when they gain enough health to move out of the critical zone, and after healing fully, a player's health bar now remains visible for a longer period of time before being hidden. So all these changes have no gameplay impact. All of it is just visual, and it's mostly just to help communicate what your actual health status is at that time. Another change that we have with this update is Kraken encounter balancing. So Kraken encounters can now occur on servers alongside some of the other world events, such as skeleton forts. While the frequency of Kraken encounters will remain the same following this change, it will allow world events to cycle more frequently. So basically, you can have, another world event going on while the Kraken is happening. We saw this change happen with some of the Megalodons and other stuff, so I'm happy to see that this change was implemented for the Kraken. Finally, we have some performance improvements. This update includes a system level optimization to the CPU performance across the broad experience to reduce the frequency of frame drops and provide a smoother frame rate during gameplay. So hopefully this helps. I've definitely noticed this has been a problem, and I've had my game crash a ton over the last 2 months. So hopefully this change to the CPU performance actually has some substantial impact, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Next up, we have some new Pirate Emporium cosmetics, which I've made a whole video on, and I'll link here if you want to go check that out now that we have the ability to go into Insiders and not have the NDA anymore. I'm able to show you all of those cosmetics in full detail. So I'll leave the link to the video here if you want to go check that out and see more about all these new cosmetics. Following that, we have new Outpost Shop cosmetics with the Gold Chaser equipment and instruments added to the game, as well as the shipwright has the new green Resolute hull, sail, and flag, which for this set I really do like the sail. I think the sail looks really nice for this set. Also starting today and running till July 31st, we have the new Legends Unleashed event. So this is a pretty lengthy event that sees the Pirate Lord rally his pirate legends against the growing Reaper threat with a comeback by the Reaper's Bones in the second week. Increased loot payouts, special event goals, and unlockable rewards are available for these two factions. In addition to the time-limited aspect of this event, Athena's Fortune now will offer 3 new legendary searches, which will remain permanent after this event. These are available from the quest table and include a legendary treasure map search, a legendary roto quest search, and a legendary skeleton bounty search. So essentially just taking the current Athena's Fortune voyage, but splitting it up into different parts so that you can just go and directly do which one you want to do. These voyages provide a shorter experience and therefore have less risk than the existing Athena Fortune voyages, providing reduced rewards in comparison to their counterparts. Also, Athena's Fortune letters of recommendation can now be purchased from the arena, providing a boost to reputation each month. These will remain permanent after the addition of this event. This is a pretty interesting change because I always thought that they kind of intentionally didn't include Pirate Legend, Athena's Fortune as part of that. Same with the Reaper's Bones, because I thought they were intentionally trying to make it so that you had to progress them naturally. You couldn't just get a boost each month and progress that way. So this is a bit of an interesting change to being able to buy levels now for Athena's Fortune. With that, we also got a ton of bug fixes. Some of the ones that are a little bit more interesting include storage crates found through skeleton orders can now be sold to the Merchants Alliance as intended. So that's a good change there. Improvements have been made to the Ashen Executive Lost Shipment Voyage, addressing an issue where the location of the shipwreck, captain's key, and manifest were appearing inconsistently during the voyage halting progress. This is something that I actually did notice when I was doing the Lost Shipment Voyage pretty recently, so I'm glad that that has been resolved. Another good one is restoring a ship at the shipwright should no longer cause the ship's wheel to spin rapidly. I never had that, but that's kind of crazy to see that that had that kind of effect. And also, players attempting to grab onto a ladder while using a spyglass should no longer find the vintage effect lingers. So those are some of the more interesting bug fixes that I saw, but there's a ton of bug fixes that are here that were added in this update, so that's always a good sign to see. But with that, that covers everything you need to know about the July Sea of Thieves monthly update for 2025. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below which of these changes today are you most excited about. For me, I think either the Pirate Legend stuff or the Devil's Roar stuff is the most exciting to me. But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.